what I felt was a decline in mental health, where a lot of people were not able to cope. The coping mechanism was not there for them. And certain group of people, they were not reaching out for help. Certain group of people, they were reaching out for help. All right. So where do you guys come in as a coach for these two groups?
Confidence, the need for being like staying mentally or emotionally well, and being equipped with some tools that they never thought they would need. So I saw that people needed more support, but at the same time, some of them they were not ready to receive, or they didn't know that that kind of service or the coaching exists and something that they can benefit from it. So I saw
right away thinking of emotional intelligence, which I think is extremely important for a coach. Listening is one thing, right? But then really also being able to process what we get by listening, but also seeing with all our senses, with our intuition and so on, and then to reflect back to our client what we observed, and then to see again the response and where this whole journey goes. And sometimes
I want to say that the coach needs to have the ability to listen. It needs to be able to close everything else outside and just focus on that individual for that amount of time that you have with them. If you can't have your full focus on the person you're talking to, you're not really there, and then you don't serve them. And it's not fair if you not have the capacity to fully listen. So I would say that's my number one.
Judge and form a perception about something. So when we actually pause and ask, we are actually opening space, like creating a space for people to open up and really pour in what is really going on inside them. So what Evelynn said, like listening skill, absolutely crucial. What Yvonne said, having an EI to be able to put that together with your intuition and everything, and bringing in that curiosity from a place of no judgment. And actually, one of the things I wanted to say earlier when I was hearing all our coaches here talk was, I feel being a coach, it has to come from the heart. It really has to come from that being sincere.
It's all fast, it's fast paced, we chit chat, we never really go deep or take the time. And when you have a coach, you have a person who is listening, who is truly listening, like what we just heard from Evelynn, right? And it makes such a huge difference. And people feel that. With the sincerity, with the curiosity together, it's then just fully present in that very moment, and the person felt seen. And this is exactly what I just very recently had a client saying to me. I felt seen, I felt like I belong, and we were equal. She made my world, I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what it is about. And I think this can really be sensed very fast also. So, which is a little bit a sad thing, I feel sometimes, because we should have these opportunities also outside, right? And not really that we need a coach, but just because everybody is so busy and everybody is in his or her own world, we just sometimes are focused on our own stuff and don't make the space to listen truly to someone. We all tend a bit to like, me too, or I would do this, but the coach sits back and listens, and this is how you can then create a really good relationship with the coachee.
With coaching, the emphasis is the fact that we are not therapists, we are not mentors. We are not here to tell you what to do. We are not here to lead you to a certain way, but we are here to walk with you. We are your partner.
She mentioned definitely coaching can help you get that clarity and identify what you really want. There are cases when you may realize later, once you get that clarity, and that's something that I do with most of my clients as well. Once they got the clarity, they may realize, I need a consultant for that, because I need an expert to help me with these things, and I need an expert opinion on the actions that I want to do. to take further, or I need a mentor to tell me how they went through the same story, through the same journey, and what they did to get me inspired to find what I really need. And maybe that at that point you may work both with a coach, with a mentor, or with a consultant. So, but I think the first step is really to go through coaching, so that you identify what you really need, what is truly your essence, your values, your core, what you really want, and then you will find a way, and you will always find what you need, and if you need any other services.
That almost, I would say, weekly, the question, what exactly is the difference between coaching and mentoring? And I mean, it's what Aurawan and Adelina already said, but I just want to make it maybe crystal clear for whoever is not a coach, who is not a coach. So when we talk about coaching, it's about questioning, right? About reflecting. So a coach will ask you lots of questions, will listen to you, and will not advise. So just reflect, ask another question, and so on. Whereas a mentor, they usually advise, right? They say, oh, I would do this, or I did that in the past. And consultant, of course, is an expert in some kind of special field. So I hope just in regards to the differences that makes very good sense. And of course,
digital meetings or physical meetings. Me as a person, I'm very interested in emotional intelligence, in soft skills, and in body language. So for me, that's very important that the person I'm talking to is comfortable enough, or that I'm comfortable enough with having a coach or being coached. So I might say that that's one part. When it comes to only doing coaching and having clients, one difficulty there is if the client isn't really ready to enter. I call it, in my coaching world, I call it like rooms. So when you start a coaching trip with me, we are in the front door of the house. And then we slowly open the door and we enter all these little rooms. And sometimes you need to enter a room, but you're not really ready to do so. And the client itself, it starts to start to taking small steps, and then it decides to close the door, and then you have to go back. And here is also why the listening part is so important, and to be able to see the body language. Does the person lay forward, going back? Is this sensitive or not? And I can find it difficult in that way, because some people really want to figure out the struggle. They really want to find an answer, but it's a little harder because they're not really ready to take that step. And then you need to go back and solve things here.
The continuation of what the chemistry call was, I was going to say, and your question is so timely, because coaching is highly misunderstood. People don't truly understand how a coach can actually help them. So that chemistry call, that setting of expectation, that having energetic alignment with the client, and that we are in this together, we can do this together. And in my personal experience, one of the biggest challenge I've had is people come in seeking advice, and they think that we have like a magic wand, we're just going to wave it and your problems are going to be solved. I am sorry, let me burst your bubble. That's not what happens. So absolutely. So I feel that's like one of the biggest challenge I have experienced as a coach, is having to tell people what is it that coaching is all about, so that they get the clear understanding that this is why they're in coaching engagement. We're not telling them what to do. We don't give advices. And a lot of times I found some clients just look at your face. They're just waiting for you to tell them what to do next, which is not what we do. So yeah, I just want.
If I may add, earlier when we talk about how you build rapport and how you build that trust, that space, the first thing that came to my mind is that it starts with the chemistry. and with the intuition at the very beginning. So the chemistry call is really extremely important, because you can realize that this is actually a person you love to work with, or even the opposite in some cases. And it's better to identify that before you start working with someone. Of course, it may change during the process of coaching, as Evelynn said, and then you may realize that you need to stop the coaching engagement, and then you can direct the client to someone else, or recommend or explain your reasons, and you can refer them to someone else, or maybe they don't need coaching anymore. That's another point when you need to stop the engagement, if you realize that they need therapy, or you cannot serve them as a coach anymore. But it all starts from the beginning with the chemistry. And as the clients can choose you as a coach, you have the right to choose your clients as well. So that's why we say it's a partnership, right?
Beautiful. So it's not all
if I can go first, sometimes I think that there is a little bit of to be afraid. That's the first step. That if I seek a coach and I want to come out with something, it suddenly becomes very real. If I say it out loud, it becomes real. It's the reality, and that's a step. When you take the step, you can't really go back. And I think that's the scary part. So I might say that's the first thing that comes to my mind, that when you say it out loud for yourself or for someone else, it becomes your reality.
you have to face
And
it.
then you want to do. Yeah.
Beautiful. Love that. Thanks, Evelynn.
If I may add, I think it's most of the times also the lack of awareness. And I hear from many clients that I didn't even know that this.
Okay. Lack of awareness, Adelina. How about Aurawan and Yvonne?
I think it's really also they doubt that there will be results. And
Wow. Okay.
this, I think it makes also sense to me, because all of us, we say, yeah, the answer is within you. So I think a lot of people are already very successful, right? So they think I was always successful by myself. Why do I need now suddenly external help or support? So it's really, I think, the doubt in believing it, that someone else can bring the answers which are within you.
Okay. Thank you. Aurawan, how about you? Anything to contribute? Yeah.
I think it's just the way we all have been conditioned and brought up, that we are supposed to be able to have all the answers by ourselves. So to Yvonne's point as well, I just think that taking that first step to seek help, to admit that, you may need someone to work with you on a process. We're just hesitant to reach out.
Okay. Lack of awareness, Adelina. How about Aurawan and Yvonne?
I think it's really also they doubt that there will be results. And
Wow. Okay.
this, I think it makes also sense to me, because all of us, we say, yeah, the answer is within you. So I think a lot of people are already very successful, right? So they think I was always successful by myself. Why do I need now suddenly external help or support? So it's really, I think, the doubt in believing it, that someone else can bring the answers which are within you.
Okay. Thank you. Aurawan, how about you? Anything to contribute? Yeah.
I think it's just the way we all have been conditioned and brought up, that we are supposed to be able to have all the answers by ourselves. So to Yvonne's point as well, I just think that taking that first step to seek help, to admit that, you may need someone to work with you on a process. We're just hesitant to reach out. We don't see your blind spots. We make you see your own blind spots. That's what we do.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And I think think what the difference between a good coach and your friends is that you get our full attention. We will let our own lives outside of the door and we will just listen to you. And again, ask or reflect, be fully present for you then. Whereas usually friends, family, it's maybe not the right time to talk. They have their own problems, whatever. So that's why a coaching session usually is quite effective, because if you basically think back to your last conversations, when was it truly just about you? Not about then the other one as well, right?
And if I may add something to what Yvonne said, that's why we don't coach friends and family, or we are not advised to do that, because we have our own perceptions about them already. We have a different kind of experience with them, and that's something that may affect our coaching, and that won't allow us to be truly neutral and open to create that space for them already, because we are part of their space.